The year is 1885. It's a time of mass expansion into the wild new frontier west of the Mississippi. Many new people have moved into this promising land. There's farmers, ranchers, and prospectors. The greenhorn travels in company with the veteran cowboy. But with them came another man, the outlaw. This is the story of two such heartless killers, an ironic twist that brought them to their end. It all began on June 12, 1885, in the small border town of Rio Leos, Texas. The two men you see in the center of the street, well, that's Nathan and Joaquin Ramsey. The Ramsey brothers are parasites. They live by their gun. Briefly, they review their plan, for it's a good one. While Nathan checks one end of town, his half-breed brother Joaquin, while he makes sure the sheriff's left town in answer to a false alarm that they themselves had raised earlier. One final look around and Nathan slips into the Wells Fargo office and orders Tom Morgan, the loan agent, to open the safe. While this takes place, Joaquin carefully watches the street. After having forced Tom at gunpoint to fill the sacks and lie on the floor in front of the open safe, Nathan rejoins Joaquin in the street. And almost as an afterthought, he fires 2 shots into the body of Tom Morgan. And the two killers laugh heartlessly as they quickly run to their horses tied behind the saloon. This all happens so suddenly that the two murderers make their getaway before anyone even knows what's happening. And young Tom Morgan, well, he won't even live out tonight. The date is now June 21st. You know, much has happened in the 9 days that have passed. The two men that have just come out of the marshal's office and loading the trap door to the gallop, well, that's Sheriff Howard Claxton and his deputy Billy Walsh. It had taken the sheriff only a few short hours to mount a posse and give chase to the outlaws. After several days, they managed to corner them in the Badlands ghost town, ironically named Better Days. In the ensuing gun battle, Nathan was taken prisoner. Joaquin once again managed to elude capture, although not before he had received a slight leg wound. Now, old Nathan, well, he was brought back to trial right here in Rio Leos. The trial was brief. Several witnesses testified against him. The jury deliberated for less than an hour before returning the verdict of guilty. And Judge Isaac Parker delivered his sentence of death by hanging, while old Nathan just laughed and boasted that he'd never hang, that his brother would return to freedom, and that he personally killed Judge Parker. Even as the ensuing days passed, Nathan seemed unconcerned. He even laughed and told jokes with Carpenter building his gallows. And hearing of this, Lisa Morgan, the widow of the murdered Wells Fargo agent, vowed that her husband's death would not go unavenged. Joaquin, meanwhile, he rested his wounded leg for a few days. He had to before he'd be able to ride. But you know, he slipped quietly into town the night of the 20th and made the plans to free his brother. Now, Lisa Morgan, she'd made plans of her own. Plans that would ensure the hanging would proceed on schedule.
You got any last requests?
Yeah, I got one.
That'll be a good time to hear it.
I'd like to see my brother.
Well, there's a lot of people in this town like to see your brother.
Okay, Joaquin! Lay down!
In the aftermath of the gunplay, we find that Lisa Morgan had made good her intentions to see justice done. By firing at Joaquin, she caused the outlaw's aim to stray across the fine line that decides where a man lives or dies. When Billy Walsh was struck by Joaquin's poorly aimed shot, he fell against the lever, thus hanging Nathan Ramsey. Lisa Morgan would recover from her flesh wounds, but you know the scars left by Nathan and Joaquin Ramsey, well, they'll never heal.
Let's get a big round of applause for our actors.